want to say that this violence is something that I grew up with, seeing and knowing. When I was a very young little girl, some man came into our home and he took me, and bad things happened. And my life changed from that moment on. The way I seen the world, the way I seen people, the way I thought and felt about everything. And things kept happening throughout my life. By the time I was 22, I had been trafficked by a family member. In 2018, my cousin, Lucinda Strong, went missing on the reservation where I grew up, which is the Yakima Reservation. It's where my mom and all my family lives. And it's one of the tribes I'm a part of, but when she went missing, my cousin went to the tribal police to file the missing persons. She wanted to file a missing persons report, and they felt like they knew her, and they said, "Are you sure she's just not out partying? You know Lucinda." Things like that. I hear that time and time again from families, from other families. And we hit the streets, me and my cousin. We did vigils and prayer walks, and we did all these other things to try to keep Lucinda's face out there, to keep her name out there, so that, we knew that the police, whether it was tribal, city, county, state, federal, that she would just be another cold case, another unsolved case. And that if we didn't get out and do something, that we would never find her, and that there would never be any justice. And so we have sworn to not rest until she gets justice. And even then, there will never be no closure. Even then, we will never fully heal from her being found 300 days later in a freezer. We still don't even know what was done to her. We don't know what those last moments of her life were like. But we're not giving up, and when I come to these places, usually I'm the one holding the event. Usually I'm the one organizing this work. And I've, even on this walk, very emotional, because I never just show up as a family. I show up as an advocate, helping other families, supporting other families. And so, like coming into this space, as I was listening to all the families here, I knew their pain. I know it. One of the families I was just up talking, I heard them talk about their loved one. My brother and sister's daughter was shot in 2018 as well. It's been almost 2 years and no investigation. They're not doing anything. And I stand here and I see this stuff. And after doing this way of life, this work, I need to tell you that I've come to the conclusion that this is good medicine, what we're doing for the families. It is, because it's healing, and I know that because I know the healing that I see the families receive over where I'm from in different states that I go to. But we got to take it a step further. We got to get involved. And this is where I'm at, and I want to share this. Most of the families are gone, but maybe they'll hear this. This is a family-led movement. This is a family survivor-led movement. For decades, and the First Nations relatives, they've been, it wasn't just women that said, I got a passion, that were fighting and doing those walks and showing up at courts and all this. Those were family members. And the community that shows up with those family members is there to carry them. Carry their prayers and lift them up. That's what we're here to do. I know I'm slow, but I've been through a lot in my lifetime. Lucky, I know how blessed I am to be here. When we were marching, and I was way in the back, about a half a block behind the whole prayer walk. And when I was back there, and I need to say this, I thought about, if this was a walk, where would our most vulnerable people be? We, as Indian people, as Native people, we take care of those most vulnerable ones. Our homeless community, our relatives that are drinking themselves to death. We take care of them. But somehow we've gotten so far away from remembering to take care of those most vulnerable ones that we often throw them away. We look over them, we pass them by, and we forget how to truly take care of our elders. And I share this because my heart was hurt, because I wanted to be catching up with you guys. But I'm grateful that I made it. I made it. Even under all the pain in my knees, and I made it. It felt good to walk in here. And I'm grateful for Rachel and the other young niece that stayed there with me, and the two women in the back of me that stayed there with me. I'm really grateful. And for the bikers, the riders, the Red Drum that stayed in the back until each and every one of us came in. That's good medicine. That's what we do as a people. This work that we have to do, I want to encourage somebody to help these families. The call for justice, the call for action is for all you people that are really smart and you got these educations and you work in law or you work in policy. Teach these families what policy is. Teach them what it is that we need to do and mobilize the families and let them be the ones that write these laws. Let them be the ones that say what we need for this justice. Because right now it's happening all over the United States. Laws are being passed, policies are being written, and the families are not at the table. The families are the ones that are experiencing this from the time their loved one goes missing, every minute, every hour, every day, and every night afterwards. I ask, this is the call for those of you that really want to be an ally and support families, to help these families. help them come to a place where they can be writing, or at least have a word. Let them guide the policy and the legislation that might go in, and stop letting these people in the government office carry this to build their own careers off of the pain and suffering of families and our loved ones. And that much I had to say. I want to thank everyone, because when I organize, it takes more than just one person. In fact, I tell everybody, if I did this by myself, I'd be the only one standing here. There's a lot of hands that go in to making something like this happen, and I just want to acknowledge all those hands, all the prayers and the ancestors that put in on this work and these prayers.
Thank you for sharing those words. Skugtash, everyone. My name is Ariana Anton Ramirez. I work at the California Consortium for Urban Indian Health. Some of you may know us as the CUI. Specifically, I work on our Red Women Rising project, which